There's a critical component to your marketing that not a lot of people talk about, and I don't understand why, but I'm changing that right now. It has to do with time. Time is the X factor in your advertising effectiveness, because you can't just evaluate your advertising based on what happened immediately when someone clicked on an ad. Over time is where clickers become prospects, and where prospects become customers, and where customers become your highest value customers. That generally doesn't happen when someone first sees your ad when they're just scrolling through their phone on Facebook. It happens after you've nurtured them, after you've given your content, after they've experienced some of your webinars or what have you. It happens over time. So when you're evaluating your marketing, you need to take this into effect. The question then becomes, how do you take time into effect? And the answer is by observing critical points in your customer's journey. The first one being first click. What is the first thing that made a customer aware that you exist? This is important because a lot of people do spray and pray marketing, and then at the end of the month or the quarter, they say, hey, look, we have this revenue. Immediately you want to know, hey, how did they first hear about me? Well, if you're just tracking that last point in time before they became a customer, you're never going to get the answer, and you're going to make spending decisions erroneously. So don't do it that way. The second point that matters is first opt-in. First opt-in is, what was it that compelled a person that clicked on an ad to finally hand over their email address? Because this point that happened back in time, further than when they made their first purchase, is critical to determining, hey, how did I get people to first start listening to me via my emails? Because if you don't know that question, you can't find your customers. This is another thing that happened back in time. Another thing that happens with time is when it comes to retargeting. Someone's been on your email list for maybe months, maybe even years, and they've never made a purchase. Then suddenly, you've done something that made them buy, and you're not sure what it was. You know why? Because you haven't gone back in time. What you need to do is go back in time and find out which particular retargeting offer got them re-engaged with your brand. Which thing excited them enough to listen to you intently enough to finally hand over their credit card. And you can't do that if you're just focusing on what was the last click before someone bought. You can't do a lot of things you need to do if you just focused on what was the last thing someone clicked on before they bought. And that's why you need to consider time whenever you're determining what you're going to spend to bring in more business. So if you can take away anything from what I've been blabbing about here, time is the X factor. Click here and learn more about it.